All right, folks, today I envision trying to build some door panel, kick panels kind of thing, kind of day, and see if I can figure out a pattern or something to do on it, because just the straight aluminum is going to be rather boring, and I don't want that. I kind of like the idea of trying to put a door pocket to put stuff in, but we'll see what happens here. I loosely have an idea, so I'm going to try to see what I can come up with here. Yeah, so we have a sheet of aluminum, so I think I have enough to at least do the door panels, and then I don't have to pick more up, because if this stuff works out the way I like in my brain what I got going on, if it works out and it looks nice, then I might actually try to extend it up into, into the roof line and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know. The doors themselves don't usually have any garnish. I might remake a garnish for the window, like I have this stock one, but I don't know. There's a lot of unknowns at this point, so I'll kind of play this and see how this goes. Anyways, like I say, we're gonna basically, I'll measure up. We're gonna cut out some the aluminum. Unfortunately, it fell down and I got a little ding in it. You can see we got that back in. At some point, I've been playing with the motor, trying to, I wouldn't say play with the tune, but I read stuff that there's a possibility with like timing or something was doing that stuff, but with the motor noise, no bueno, none of that's working. So, yeah, kind of hooped. Don't know what it is, but I won't sweat about it. I'd like to at least try to get it a little bit further that I can just take it for a little drive just to see how it is. That would be an ultimate goal. But I am getting a little burned out on it. So, as you can see, our little Studamino's back in the shop. So, I might play with that a little bit. I just need to take a break from the Model A. It's getting to be a bit much. Totally want to finish it, but I'm like, I need a little break. So, anyways, we'll probably play with this a little bit. I also threw the Dodge in, so just to switch things up for a little while. So, I don't know how far I'll get with either car at this point, but I do want to just get a little bit more done on them. That's the thing. This thing over here, we got it in, but because I have a transmission now, so basically I want to pull the motor out. I still haven't figured out my rack system. I can't find one. Well, I think I found a repop one, but it's like more than I paid for the car. So I kind of really am not looking for that option. Worst case, I might put a stock steering box back in if it fits. As it sits with the rack that's in there, it's just completely undrivable because the wheels, they nose out almost like 2 inches just on the weight of the motor. So through suspension travel, this thing would dart all over the place and be completely undrivable. But it would be neat to see if I can figure out the wiring and get this motor to run standalone. And then, we got that big honking manual that we can throw behind it. I got an NV3500 from I don't know, like a 318 or something like that, I think it's a full-size truck. So hopefully all the bits just work and the starter, like that, we can actually turn that thing over and see if it'll start. And, well, yeah, I don't know. Just add something else to the list of things I can work with, I guess. That motor's just huge. It doesn't really fit into a lot of stuff. I thought of using that motor like in the coupe, but there's absolutely no way it was going to fit under the hood. So that kind of just went to the wind. Even the LS barely fit. Like I needed a steer clear box for this thing, and I had one, but I don't anymore. So we'll have to come up with some creative stuff with that and then redo our rack pinion and things like that. I know Carl wants to come out and help me thrash and build a few panels for the car, so that might come up in the next month or so. I'm not sure. We'll see how his schedule is, but we'll probably play on that for a little while. All right, anyways, all distractions aside, let's look at building some door panels here. Well, that was easy enough. We kind of have that going. I'm not going to bother with the lock on this door. So there is a lock. Kind of has this cool little recess. It sits in there, but I don't have keys or nothing for nothing. So that'll be fine. Anyways, we got door panels are done. Or not done. They work. They're in place. I think the next step is, I've seen a lot of designs on the web and they look super cool. I'm thinking, because it had a little bit of paint, but somehow it kind of scored out the lines, so it kind of had a two-tone kind of deal going on. So I kind of dig that. I'm thinking what I want to do here is we'll bead roll a perimeter around. We'll do like pleats in it, or pleats, or a diamond tuff. I don't know. Maybe pleats would be a little different. I don't know. Anyways, I'm toying with the idea. I'm going to do something kind of design. I figure we'll break up somehow. We'll do a line here that kind of goes through and can follow through into the back. Would be pretty cool. But if we do a little perimeter bead, that way we can bolt it. I don't know, just to give it some dimension. I'd like to upholster, but the panels I seen looked really cool. So I'm thinking I'm going to see if I can make my own version of that. It's kind of the plan. That way we can kind of do the door. I'm still gonna make the kick panel, so I'll have to get some cardboard. We're gonna make those really quick, and then I can start patterning. But the only thing I have to do before that is gonna be, because of the bead rolling, I really need to make a tray for my bead roller. Thing works really great, but I'm always hand flopping around, so essentially I need to make a table that comes off and holds my plate flat, especially for what I'm doing now. So I need to make, I don't know what size or what. Actually, because of that whole pinball thing I'm doing, I might have wood, which is more than good enough to do that. That we don't have to use big chunks of steel to make that. But I need to make a platform that'll be removable, but I can pop it in place, and it'll nicely support my steel that I'll just hold the steel so it doesn't become a problem for me. If I go like trying to hold it in there by itself, it's going to wobble around and it's going to wrinkle it and do all kinds of weird stuff. So the flatter I can keep it, the better everything's going to look overall. So I got to make that thing first. No, first I'm going to make those little kick panels that I need, and then we'll pattern out and make a table for that bead roller so that we can start coming up with a design and start bead rolling these things all out. Well, everything's together, so it actually bolts on down here. So that kind of stays permanent. Wasn't sure what I was doing, so I left some adjustability in that. Not that it's any good for anything, honestly, but... And then up front, we just have a pin to pull, and then the whole thing just lays down out of the way, and we can just do normal things. I still don't know whether I should have just done that a little higher or not. But anyways, let's try it out. Well, there was a lot of trial and errors in here, but I think it'll work. I don't like how it doesn't sit very flat, but I think that's nature of the beast when you're kind of doing this. Everything needs a little tweaking, and I gotta get all of my bends the right way. This was supposed to step the other way, same with this. I kind of rolled the edge because I'd like to drill some holes along this edge, and if I can tilt this over, that'll give me a nice like edge. And I think I'll end up sanding it and putting a bit of paint on it, but I think overall, I think that's kind of what I'm shooting for. I think it's all right. It'd be better with paint on it, and then I think I'll try to score out the middles, or the middle of these, so they're kind of the aluminum color, like whatever, shiny, but the rest has like a dull black or a tan, or I don't know, maybe I'll do something with like the color of the inside. I don't know. Maybe the diamond type doesn't work with that. I definitely should have done pleats because it would have been a lot easier. But the goal is to do something like that through the door, come down, and then that can tie into the kick panel. So yeah, I'm not sure though. Like it'd be too much with pleats up and down, and this is kind of cool, but it might be too much in the whole car. I don't know. I'm a little mixed on it, but man, does it like, yeah. I mean, it's to be expected. It warps like crazy. I have to figure out my dies. I'm kind of using a step die, and it's like kind of the sharpest one I have. So I would take the lower one off. Like I would use it to do this tiny step, which is good. And then I take it off, and I would just do whatever it is, like a rubber on the bottom. That's how I'm doing the bottom ones. I'm wondering if I should experiment with it and do it on a different die just to see. I'm thinking it'll end up scarring it all up if I tried to stick it on something like that. So I don't know. I'm a little mixed on that. It's pretty sharp for what it is. I don't think I have anything else sharper than that. I have this single wheel, but it's overall quite a bit thicker, but maybe that would leave a better mark through the middle. Although you kind of want that pretty tight. Well, at least I do, but I don't know. I got to experiment a little bit more. That took quite a while, so I don't know. By the time I map out my doors and figure things out, that could be quite interesting. But I think that's as far as I'm going to get. This table worked great. I ended up going steel. I didn't want to because, well, it's steel, and it's made it. I made an expensive bench, but it works well. I don't know if it should be higher or not. I think it depends on. I based it on like my smaller die, so if it was one of these, this sits like just above the table kind of thing. You know how that droop would be just over it. But then when I put these on, it's much bigger. But I think overall it doesn't matter too much. It's just, it gives you some support. That's the big thing with it. So anyway, I'm pretty happy with it. It comes on and off really easy. So that's a huge win. That's a new added bonus to the bench. Kind of wish I made it a little bit smaller, but I guess I could sit on a stool now. I can see these guys that do these designs, why they would have this and like a big round knob on here, because I can see my hands probably gonna get pretty sore in a hurry here spinning that little thing. Anyways, I think that's as far as I gotta go. I think you're done for today, right? You want to call her a night? Hey? All right. Well, we will be back at it tomorrow. All right, folks. Today I've just been thinking about it, and I don't know that I want to just jump into those panels yet. There's a lot of thought I got to do into it because I don't know 100% sure what I want. So I think my plan is going to be I'm just going to continue on with what aluminum I have and see how much of these interior panels I can make, just so at least I have the whole setup. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what I want to do. Like I have a rough idea, but I want to integrate some vinyl into it, and I don't know exactly how to do it yet. And because that panel warps so much, I kind of seen some stuff on how to stretch it a little bit before I bead roll it. So I might want to play a little more, see if I can figure things out, and just so I don't have a big warped up mess. That's kind of the plan. So yeah, like you can see, we got our door panel is there. That's got a little trim that's going to be on top. That one I made a trim, but we do have garnish moldings that can go over that window and the back window. So I might put those in and see if I should remake some of this, a few things here. Like I don't mind that, but I'm wondering if it would look better if I had a cap on it than just that bendy bit like I have, because the garnish molding only goes around the top and down. So we have that going, but yeah, I got to feel a way to try to make these panels. I think I can make a panel in the rear, and then we can kind of come in this way. And then at some point I'll figure a way to like maybe roll something in there so it doesn't look so industrial inside. I keep looking here and I keep having a drip. I have no idea what is going on with this, but I keep wiping it down, but it's like this fitting. Ugh, I don't know if that light, if you can actually see, but this fitting up here just keeps leaking and I don't know what's going on. This, I feel like if I tighten it anymore, it's gonna leak, so I don't know what's going on. Everything's like new, but I'm not enjoying these AN fitting things. I don't know why I'm having such a trouble with it. Anyways, every time I come in, there's a small drip, but it seems to be such the smallest leak, so I don't know what's going on. I don't know if I gotta buy something else or what I gotta do there yet, but anyways, yeah, gonna get started and we'll just start trying to pattern up some pieces for the roof and see if we can get something going there. All right, well, I always struggle with trying to figure out the right order to do these bends, but see how close I got. So there's a lot of stuff happening in the back because the original seat frame is still there, so hopefully I'm not making you guys wobble around like crazy. Like I say, there's I don't want to take it out because I'm using it to hold my fuel tank, so that's this stuff. That's why all these bends went into here. So we kind of having a game plan. I don't know now how this is going to jive. I might try to just round this top a bit. I didn't know what I was doing there, but I might just curve this a little bit yet. I'll put it in the brake and, well, maybe I'll, yeah, the slip roller won't work good. I'll do it on my bendy table. I'll just quickly put it in there and give it a little crank just to see if I can get this to sit flat. Although I got to get these out. This is also my problem right now. I'll do that bendy bit and then I'm going to pull these things for the blinds off. I don't even know if I need this wood stuff in here really. I don't know. It's probably held in with a few nails. Won't worry about it right now. I just want to get that thing done. Well, that didn't quite do what I wanted. The sides worked okay, but it didn't actually get the middle. I think I'm gonna have to do some trimming there. It's not doing what I like. Yeah. Interesting, but I really have no idea how I'm gonna tie the panels in yet. I'm going to take this corner and I'm going to cut these out. I'm going to draw those. We're going to cut those out and then we'll try this again here. It sort of works. We'll trim it a little more, but well, that's pretty good. It's just this side needs a little more. I think I can just do with a set of scissors. Oh, in and out, in and out. That'll be okay. I have to do the struggle to figure out the back window, but not a problem. Okay. So I think what I'm going to do now is focus just in this section and this section, because we do have these garnish moldings that go around, but I don't want to go take on too much. So I'll try to, I got to get some cardboard. We got to doodle this. Definitely needs a doodle. And to modify some stuff here, but we'll start with the easy side because that one's got a lot of stuff happening. I don't know how I'm going to do the bottom here yet. There is a small problem with that. This I can fold down and pinch down. Maybe this one won't matter too much. Maybe. All right. Well, I guess some of that tape work was unneeded. Trying to make this with as simple as possible. I could go a little bit higher, but oh, all right. Well, that's kind of the idea. I don't even know if you could see what I was doing. Anyways, I have a loosey-goosey plan. I'm just going to get some more tape so I can add to the top. So at least this part can go as high as I can. And I might be able to roll that flange so that when I do a roof line, it can actually line up with something. Anyways, I'll get a bit of tape on here. I could blindly do it, I think. I'm not sure how well everything's going to work, but we'll give it a shot. So back here's not... And a finger at the back. Two-ish in the front. Yeah, kind of works. I definitely know this won't fit right, but just to see if that little scrap piece that I did is in the zone. For the most part, well, this is supposed to go. I really don't know how to work with aluminum very well, I'll tell you that. In the sense of keeping it really nice. It's going to end up getting sanded because I'm screwing it up like crazy. To be fair though, it didn't come with any kind of protective film, so. Okay, I think I need this to bend more because this part here needs to tip in better with the back, and I have to notch the top out, but I think it'll work. It's probably easier on a Model T because it's not as much stuff, but we got a game plan. I didn't get too much done today. I'm gonna keep playing with this here. I'm gonna keep playing with this, and hopefully I can get these two. Hopefully this other side is about the same, other than this one should more or less be the same, but I have to do. Oh, it'd be so cool, but I have to get rid of. Oh, well, it might not be as complicated as I think. This literally might be just a little skunk out for this thing. I'll have to build some kind of cover for that hose yet, but oh, look at that. Why does this one fit so much different? I might have to trim that one up a little more. Or bring this one down. I almost want this. Maybe not. Maybe I can just do that. Oh, that'd be better yet. Can you actually see that? I don't know. I'm feeling that vibe is a lot nicer on here. I should change my route of attack on this side to like get this to go in behind. Do something like that. Just get rid of some of this top. I like that better. Then that can go back and this can kind of like just nose off and touch that. Let's hammer through this. And this should actually work out pretty easy actually, or pretty nice. This part, well, I think nice. I still don't know what we're doing for a pattern or what we're gonna do on it, but it's one step closer to building a really weird interior for my car. Well, overall, this is starting to look like something. I'm have to figure out dividers and figure out how I gotta do stuff. This goes with the interior. I still gotta do the back window. That shouldn't be too big of a problem. Like that, we'll kind of trim it out. I kind of have a loose idea for the sides where I can like, I want to do the garnish molding, but I might be able to run it through the bead roller and just tip it so it kind of has a nice rounded edge. I feel like I should have done that down here. That would have been a lot better, but yeah, I don't know. It's coming. Oh, yeah, I don't know. It's coming along. It's getting there. I didn't get quite as far as I wanted to, but it did take a bunch of time trying to do that bead rolling of that thing and playing with that panel just to get a feel of what's going on. But there's still a lot to do interior wise, because I still got to kind of make something up on there, and then for all of this stuff going forward here, I got to get like try to do some channel. I don't know, I'm gonna have to wait on this top part because I still mix what I want to do on top here. There's like many things a feather can do, but I really want the wood, but it would be cool if the top could come off, but I don't know if that's going to be an option or not. I think it'd be awesome that it did that, but I don't think it's going to happen. Anyways, it's getting pretty late. I'm thinking that is where I'm going to call this one. There's a lot of stuff to figure out here inside. I think I'll play one more round on this just to try to get the interior panels all in. And I don't know, maybe try to fit the hood, some stuff like that. Play with a few little things here, and then I think I want to take a little break on the car because I am slowly getting burnt out on it. Yeah. Anyways, that's kind of what happens. We just get into the nitty gritties. So I think for now, we're just going to leave that one right here. So as always, folks, I want to thank you all for watching, and we will catch you on the next one. Later.